So, this week, what we're talking about is learning how to read music. Now, the problem with reading music, especially for singers, is that, for example, if I were to pick up a trumpet or a saxophone or a guitar or the drums, I could look at a piece of music and know exactly what note to play and what it would sound like. And even if you didn't know what it would sound like, all I would have to tell you to do is press these fingers down and you'd be good to go. But for singers, it's a little bit different because if I said, "Hey, sing a G or sing an E or whatever," you might not know what that is. And even if you could spend years memorizing it. And in fact, I have memorized it. And so I could sing you a G right now, or I could sing you any note you would ask me to sing. But that's just because I spent years of memorizing it. So here's the problem then. Are you going to spend years memorizing it before you can join a choir? No. The easy solution to singing for choir members and learning how to read music is what we call solfege. A lot of you guys might already know what solfege is, and that's great. If you already know what that is, remember this is just a refresher. It's just a review. It'll just help jog your memory a little bit. But if you don't know, I would pay really close attention because this is how you're going to really learn how to read music. Solfege is, in a sense, a tool that we use to learn to read music, especially as singers. It's something that we use all over the world, and we use different forms of solfege. But a lot of people do use solfege and know how great it works for us to read music. The problem, like I said, is that we not might not know where each note literally is. Like we can't just sing, "This is this note, this is this note," and I could just be like, "Oh yeah, that's a D and that's a C." Like, no, we can't all do that. But the easier thing that we can do is to know how far each note is from each other. If you don't really understand what that means, I'm going to show you here in a second, but just pay attention. So, why do we need solfege? To use solfege, we assign a specific syllable to each note, and then we use the knowledge that we have of how far each of those syllables are from the other one to sing notes correctly. The syllables that we use are do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, and ti. And then, of course, you might be thinking, wait, there's another one. There's a do above that. But just like how, if you already know this, just like how music notes repeat themselves, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, then the next note would be A after that. It would just be a higher A. It's the same thing. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti. And then the next do is a higher do. It's the same note, it's just higher. So, how do we use it? Well, first, let's start by singing a song. And sitting here at my piano. I'm just going to go ahead and play a G. I'm just going to play a note. And the way that we use solfege is by first knowing, all we need to know is what the solfege is. And we need to know what the starting pitch is. So, I'm going to give myself a starting pitch here. And I just know that this is a G just because I've been playing music for 20 something years and that's just what I know. So let's start here. I'm gonna sing you a song and I want you to pay pretty close attention to it. I'm not gonna tell you about what yet, but I'm gonna sing it again in a second. I want you to pay pretty close attention. So this is how the song goes. Which fell in a ditch, picked up a penny and thought she was rich. And we're singing again. What I want you to do is take your hands or your foot or something that you can use to tap out a beat. And by beat, I just mean I'm gonna clap it for you, but I want you to tap it. So we're gonna go like this. One, two, one, two. We're gonna keep that steady, just like this. So clap this with me while I sing the song. Ready? Keep going. Ready? And which fell in a ditch, picked up a penny and thought she was rich. And stop. Um, Clapping for now and knowing the beats and everything is not what we're focusing on right now, but it is something that we need to establish now that there's what we call a steady beat. It's like a pace. It's like thinking about your heartbeat, and when you're just sitting there, it just always constantly goes bum, bum, bum. And as long as you don't move, or as long as you don't have a stroke or something, it'll always stay consistently like that. Just like or another example would be the second hand on a clock. It's always consistent. It always happens at the same time, and it always keeps moving. So let's try it one more time. Ready? Clap with me or tap with me. One, two, ready, and which fell in a ditch, picked up a penny and thought she was rich. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna think about the specific notes that I'm singing. This might be a really easy song for you to sing, and I really hope that it should be easy for you because this is a song that we teach to kindergartners. So think about the song. There are two notes. There are only two notes that I'm singing in the song. Of course, I'm singing a bunch of words, but all of the words either fall on one note or the other notes. Some of those notes are high, some of them are low. I want you to listen one more time and tell me which ones are high, which ones are low. Ready? One, two, ready, go. Which fell in a ditch, picked up a penny and thought she was rich. If I went too fast for you, let me try going just a little slower. Here's our starting note again. We're gonna go really slow. And what I would do is take out a pencil and paper and literally write out these ones are high, these ones are low, and write out all those words. Ready, go. Which fell in a ditch, picked up a penny and thought she was rich. Which ones of those were high? Which ones of those were low? Take a second and answer the question. So hopefully you got the same answer that I did. I put the high notes in blue and the low notes in yellow. And I know that some of you might be thinking, wait, Mr. Patoga, you're colorblind. How do you know what those colors are? And to you, I would say, well, I know what blue and yellow look like. And also, if you hover your mouse over the color when you're highlighting, it'll like if you just hold it there for a second, it'll literally like pop up and say this is blue. And I'm like, okay. And if that's not blue, then my color blindness and reading are really bad. All right, let's try it again. Make sure you sing along with me this time and keep a steady beat somewhere in your lap, on your foot, with your heel or your toe, or just clap along. Here's our starting note. Ready, and which fell in a ditch, picked up a penny and thought she was rich. So there are only two notes here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna write two lines out. And I'm gonna put those notes on our make believe staff here, which just has two lines. I know that staff will usually have five lines, sorry, and four spaces, but right now we're just gonna have two lines just to make things look a little bit clearer. And we're gonna put the high notes on the top line and the bottom notes on the bottom line, just so we can visually see which one's higher and which one's lower. And this is just the first line, so just sing the first line with me. Ready? Here's the first note. Ready, go. Which fell in a ditch. Did you get that? Do you see how some of them are higher and lower? Try it again. Ready, go. Which fell in a ditch. That's pretty simple, right? One line. You can see which ones are higher and lower. You can even sing those along with me. And remember, ladies, if it needs to be higher, or guys who have their voice change, if it needs to be lower, you can sing whichever one you want. But now what we're gonna do is we're actually gonna substitute the words for those syllables. And so I'm just gonna tell you right now, the top syllable we're gonna call so, and the bottom syllable we're gonna call me. Here's not a warning, but just so that you know, some people will spell so SOL. I don't, just because I don't know. The extra L is just time that I don't feel like typing out. So it's really just more of laziness on my part. But if you want to, it's totally up to you. But yeah, it might be SO, it might be SOL. But me is just MI. Here we go. Let's sing the first line again. But instead of singing which fell in a ditch, we're actually just gonna sing so and me on the same rhythm as that first line with the same notes that are higher and lower. But instead we're just saying so and me. So like this. I'll do it for once, then I'll do it again. Sing it with me. Keep the steady beat right here. Let's get our note again. Ready, and so me, so me. So you heard how one is higher and one's lower. I didn't change the actual notes. I literally just changed the words from which fell in a ditch to so me, so me. Try it with me. Ready? Here's so 1, 2, ready, go. So me, so me. I'm hoping that was pretty easy for you, but if it wasn't, let's try it one more time. Ready, go. So me, so me. Fair enough, right? Pretty easy. The problem becomes when we add the other three lines, because remember, a staff is made up of 5 lines and 4 spaces. So where are the other 3 lines? I just didn't draw them out right now. But if I add the other 3 lines, see how it gets a lot more complicated, and you have to really look at where those notes are. You have to almost tune out where the other 3 lines are. So looking at this is a lot easier than looking at this. It's the same exact thing, just a little bit more information. Right? So let's try saying it one more time. Nothing should change. It should still sound the exact same way. Here's our starting note. Ready, go. So, mi, so, mi. See, nothing changed, right? But now what we can try doing is we can just throw either a bunch of notes on there and we can look at the note. And as long as we know the distance between so and me, and we know what the starting note is, which is right here, this is so, then we can sing any piece of music. What is sight reading? Before I sight read this, I want you to answer the question, what is sight reading? So, sight reading is essentially when you look at a piece of music for the very first time and you just read it out. And it's basically like, well, you don't know what the music is, you don't know what it sounds like, but you do know how to read music, so you do your best to read it out. Does that mean that you're going to get it right on the very first try? No, of course not. You're going to have to practice it to get it right. But the first thing we do when we open a piece of music is we sight read it because it's the first time reading it. Then we practice it, then we perform it. So here's our starting notes. Let me see, I'll count down from 10. See if you can figure out how this is supposed to sound on your own. Ready? Go. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, now sing it along with me. See if you can keep it going, and we're gonna keep a consistent beat. And each clap is when we're gonna sing the next note. So every note on the clap. And remember, we read left to right. So start on that first so all the way to the left, and then read across, then another so, then a me, then a so. Now I've written out the solfege here for you, but it's not always gonna be that way. Let's try. Ready? Starting no 1, 2, sing with me. So, me, so. Did you get that right? Did you sing it right with me? Hopefully you did. Try it one more time. Ready? 1, 2, ready, go. Me, so. And that's the essentials of solfege and sight reading. Over the next couple days, except for the day that you're taking NWEA testing, you're going to be sight reading and on a bunch of different notes with so and me. And I'm going to be giving you different exercises where you have to decide if the note is so or if the note is me. I wrote them out for you here, but like I said, starting on the next assignments, you're not going to have those notes written out for. You're going to have to be able to figure out if the note is so or me. Remember, the best way we can tell is because we're only dealing with two notes right now, which one's higher, which one's lower. The higher one is so, lower one is me, right? Remember, you can always ask me for questions, and yeah, happy singing.